Friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. As you know, currently we are doing a tutorial series on Hive topics, and as of now, we have completed almost around 5 to 6 Hive tutorials. So, whatever things we have seen as of now was pretty much basic things like how do we create the table, then how do we load the data into the table, how do we rename the table, how do we use order by queries, sort by queries, and how do we do a joining of two tables using inner join, using various types of outer joins. So such kind of things we have seen as of now. So this is it was like pretty much on the basics of Hive, and now it's a time to move ahead with some advanced concepts in the Hive, where we'll go and see how do we, or how we can really utilize the functionalities or the facilities given in the Hive query language to solve the real-time problems. Okay, so let's start with those things. So before going into the details of those things, I would like to give you some sort of recap with whatever actual things we have done up till now. So let's switch on to that employee table that we have created. So let me go and describe that employee table. So if you see this particular output of describe employee, then whatever data types you are seeing here across the column name, it's like integer string, and a couple of other data types, like we have double, we have float, and all kind of the data types that we use normally, right? So, but it is not always possible that whatever problem statement we are going to solve can be solved using all these primitive data types. So whatever data types we have seen as of now, like int, then we have string, then we have we have float, then we have double. All these data types are known as, or are being categorized as, primitive data types. But in Hive there is something called as advanced data types as well, where it has support to the data types like array, then the data types like map, where we generally go with the collections, and the data types like struct. Okay, so this is nothing but the advanced data types in Hive, and in this tutorial we are going to take a look on how do we actually use these advanced data types to store somewhat NoSQL kind of data, where the schema is there obviously, because unless and until we have schema we won't be able to query that particular thing, but somewhat semi-structured data we can say. Now, when I say semi-structured data, what kind of examples it can look like? Now, let's take example of, let's say we want to store some personal information. So when I say personal information, it can be anything, like it can be some name, then it can be list of friends. Like here you may have 100 friends, 200, or 3 friends. You never know that how many will get added into the list. Okay, then you may have some various kind of contacts, that contact list or contact types you maintain, like your personal mobile number, then your office landline number, let's say, and then somewhat other details we can categorize it as other information, that which company you work for, then what is your zip code, the area in which you are living, then are you married or not, and then what is your salary. So this is nothing but your personal info. And let's say if our problem statement is we want to store this kind of information in a Hive table and we wanted to query it, how do we go with that? If we wanted to solve this using the relational database approach, then what we need to do is we need to create those many number of columns in your table. Like let's say you want to store a list of friends now, or names of your friends. So it is not at all possible that in terms of how many columns you will create. Now one person can have 100 friends, another person can have 200 friends. So will you end up creating 200 columns for this? So answer is no. And even though let's say you create those 200 columns, it is not possible that for it will survive for each and every requirement. Let's say some entry comes into your database having 1000 friends. So again you need to alter your table and those kind of stuff, which is not a feasible solution to solve our current problem. So to support these kind of problem statement, Hive has come up with these advanced data types. And there are three types of advanced data types that are being supported in Hive. One is array, another one is map, and the next one is struct. Now let's take an example of what kind of data we can store using this or using these advanced data types. So let's take some example. Now let's say the same, we'll go with the same example actually, that I wanted to store the personal information that we have just discussed. So let's say I want to store name. So this is going to be a simple string. So let's say any name, or just wanted to store first name, let's say. So this is my name. Then I want to store list of friends, means names, list of names of friends. So now this is going to be my array of string. Then let's say I wanted to store let's say my contact information, my personal number, let's say something, and my office number, let's say 1 2 3 4 5. I'll just write anything. Then next information which I wanted to store is some other information, let's say my company name. Then I want to store let's say my pin code. Then I want to store whether I'm married or not, and let's say I want to store my salary. So this is what I wanted to store in terms of storing my personal information. So let's take some example. Okay, so let's say this is my name. I want to delimit all these fields with, let's say, tab delimited fields. So my name, then I'll give tab, then name of my friends, let's say Sachin, Rahul, then Vishal, and let's say Gaurav. So this is my list of friends. Then again I'm done with writing my list of friends. Then again I wanted to give tab and my personal mobile number, which is the combination of key and value. So key and value are being delimited by this colon, and official number, this. So this is my third field of contact, let's say. Now next what I want to do is I want to store my company name, then my pin code, then whether I am married or not, and my salary. This is the information, let's say, I wanted to store. So let's say I'm writing my company name, then my pin code number, then am I married or not, yes, and my, let's say, salary, 1 lakh rupees. Okay, so this information we wanted to store using Hive table. So let's switch on to the Hive terminal and let's see how we can utilize these array, map, and struct to store these kind of information. Okay, all right. So this is my Hive terminal, and I'm going to create one file here, vi personal info, and in this I'll just rewrite everything, because I just wanted to make sure that I'll write those tabs properly. So this is my name, then list of friends, that is Sachin, Rahul, then Gaurav, and then Vishal. So this is my list of friend. Then my personal phone number is, I'll write something, and my office number is this. Again tab. I just wanted to create tab delimited data basically. Then I'll write my company name, comma, I wanted to write, let's say, pin code. I'm just writing any blank thing, whether I'm married or not, and the last one is my salary. Again, next, that some name, I'll just consider some name, whatever comes in my mind. Then Hamid, by, let's say, 3 friends. Personal is, I'll write some number, then office number, then company, yes, and let's say 90,000. So as of now, just for example, these 2 rows are sufficient. I'm just saving these contents, and this is what my file looks like now. So this is the personal information, where we have couple of entries in this. This is my name, this is list of friends, this is my personal contact number, office contact number, and this is like some other information where I am including company name, pin code number, whether I am married or not, and my salary. So these are the 4 columns. Now, having said that, whatever columns we are trying to store, we should know, okay, what kind of metadata we wanted to put. So that this is useful, this information is useful while creating the table. So let's create a table to store this kind of data. Okay, let's move to the Hive terminal. Let me clear it for you. Let's start creating the table. So let me use let me just check how many databases I have. So let me use this organization database, and let's start creating the table. So create table personal information. So I'll just write personal information. Now our first column is simple, name, and its data type is also primitive data types, which comes in, so string comes under primitive data type. Now the next thing is friends. Okay, so I'll name it as friends, and this is going to be my array of string. So this is how we give the advanced data types of array. So friends is nothing but its data type is going to be array of string. What is my next is my contact information. So let's say my mobile numbers. So I'll name it as mobile, which is nothing but a map of key and value. We were discussing that this is going to be our key and value. This is my key, this is my value, this is my another key, this is my another value. So basically I am having 2 sets of map here, where there is going to be a pair of key and value. So how do I write that? Map of string, comma, big int. So this is the integer. Since we are assigning the number, this is going to be my integer. Okay, comma. and the last one is other information. Okay, so let's categorize it as other info, which is nothing but of struct type, out of which the first one is company. Its data type is string, as you know. So all this has been categorized into other information of company, then pin code, of which the data type is integer. Then what we have next is married. Its data type is string, let's say. And finally salary, let's say it is also int. Anything you can assign, you can assign float as well, no problem. So this is what my schema will look like for the personal information table. So no, name is my string, and here we have an example of advanced data types. So let me finish up this creating the schema. Now what we need to tell Hive explicitly is how we are going to delimit all these things. Now since you and me are human beings, we can easily able to identify, okay, what kind of information we have stored here. But for Hive, it is not possible. We have to tell it explicitly that how we are going to delimit these array of string, how we are going to delimit these map, how we are going to delimit these other informations like company and pin and whatnot. So for that we have various clauses. One is row format delimited. Now this is pretty much common. Row format delimited fields are fields terminated by, again this is also very common, /t, because we have whatever fields we have written are being terminated by tab. Okay, now next two lines are very much important. Now collection items. Okay, so collection items terminated by. Now what kind of collection items we have here? So this is one collection item, this is one collection item, this is another collection item, this is one collection item, this is another, this one is one more, and this is one more. And if you observe this, all these collection items are terminated by using a delimiter called as comma. So here we are going to write collection items are terminated by comma. Then what else we have kind of information here? This colon is here. And what is this? This is a map. So map keys are terminated by colon. This is the another thing which we need to give it to Hive, that my map keys are terminated by colon. Okay, so my collection items are terminated by comma, map keys are terminated by colon, and obviously lines terminated by /n, that means enter. So how we are delimiting the lines? It is simply by putting enter or /n in terms of this keyboard language, we can say. So this is what my complete table structure is. Create table personal info, name string, friends array of string, then mobile is nothing but map of string and big int. Other information is a structured type where I'm going to store company, then pin code number, then marital status and salary, out of which rows formats are delimited and fields are terminated by tab, collection items terminated by comma, and map keys are terminated by colon. So let's give semicolon and this table will get created. So if you do show tables now, then you will see this personal info, and if you try to describe it, then you will see whatever we have written while doing the create table statement. Okay, so name has a data type of string, friends has a data type of array of string, mobile is a map of string big int, and other information is a type of struct. Okay, now let's go ahead and load the data into this particular table. So where we have the data, we have the data at /home/cloudera with the file in the personal information file. Okay, so let's go to the Hive terminal and load data local in path. Let's give this /home/cloudera and name of the file. Let me give this slash. So this is my file. So load data local in path into table personal info. So it has loaded this particular data into organization.personal.info table. Now let's say we do select star from personal info, then this is how we will see the data. So name, then this is my list of friends, Sachin, Rahul, Gaurav, Vishal. These are my personal contact and official contact. This is my company. So this is what my first row looks like, and this is my another row. Okay, now let's try to run select name from personal info. So Swatek and Prasad, this is the one which we got. Now the next information that I wanted to have from this personal info table is name and let's say office number only. So how I will write that is like select name comma office, sorry, so the type of this particular column or the name of this particular column is mobile. Okay, so from mobile section I just wanted to get this office, so office from my personal info. So this will give me only two things, one is name and another one is office number. So this is how we can retrieve the map values. Now how do we retrieve these array of strings? Now let's say instead of mobile I wanted to have my, let's say, zeroth, the friend's name which is stored at the 0th index. So let me just describe this so that I'll not make any mistake while typing the column names. This is my friends. So select name comma friends at 0th location. Okay, from obviously personal information info. This is we have to give this. So name first friend, name first friend. So that's how we get this. Now so we saw that how do we retrieve things from array of string, how do we retrieve things from map. Now how do we retrieve things from this struct? So here in this struct, the name of this complete column is other info, under which we have company. These are like the sub columns in this particular column. So we have company, then we have pin, then we have married, and then salary. So how do we retrieve those things is select name comma other info dot. Now what all things you want? Let's say I wanted to have the company from personal info. So for Swatek, it's a name of its company. For Prasad, it's TOI. Okay, so this is how we can retrieve each and every field, and we are able to store somewhat diverted information by using or by making the use of advanced data types here. Okay, so I hope you got the concept of advanced data types, and believe me, it is very important while solving the real world problem using Hive query language. So I hope you understood this particular thing. If you have any doubts, any questions on this particular concept, please comment on the comment section box, And if you like this particular video, do like it, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next tutorial.